Alright everybody, welcome to my first episode of Sealed Only Digimon. As you can clearly see, we're going to be using our starter deck Red Gallantmon and 10 packs of Digital Hazard. I think the Gallantmon structure deck is a very nice place to start, particularly because it is a highly aggressive deck. It's a deck that I can be very variable with and play to my strength of playstyle, which is a very aggro playstyle that wants to do as many security checks as possible. Here we've got all those memory boosts. Later on, I think the red memory boost is going to be very helpful for our deck, starting off, just to up the consistency and fix some of the issues that the starter deck will have right off the bat. These Gigimons are actually pretty good. I like them a lot because they're going to be able to help us have a decent egg starting off. There's our Guilmons. These are going to be the main stars of the deck, being able to get out onto that Gallantmon as soon as possible. There's the Biomon, the blocker. We have the 2 Growlmons that give us a memory when things are deleted. The new strategy for the Gallantmon is playing around those deletion effects, and I think it's going to be really nice to have something that lets us gain memory back. Some just vanillas. This Groundramon is actually very nice. Having a 2-cost 5 Digivolution is very fast and very relevant. There's our War Growlmon, probably the main star of our level 5s. Shine Greymon, very nice card, but I don't know if we're going to play it just because we do have the 2 structure decks. The 2 Lightning Joust, highly thinking about playing these just because 1-cost extra security checks are amazing. The Atomic Blaster is very nice. 5-cost deletion is very nice with that Growlmon from earlier. We're going to be able to do a lot of work. There they are. They got stuck. Our Gallantmons. These are the main star of the deck for sure. Our extra security attack and deleting anybody's leftover level 3s, maybe 4s, is going to be really nice for the overall play style of the deck. So now we're going to go ahead and open up this 10 packs of Digital Hazard. As you can see from that promo there, we got the Imperial Dramon Dragon mode. Not really going to be playing that, just not in the colors for it. We got 5 here, and go ahead and grab the other 5. So that puts us at our total 10. And we'll go ahead and start opening. Mephistomon, Groundloco, Gargamon. These high-speed plugins, I actually want to take a look at if we get enough tamers to play it. Those high-speed plugins are a very big deal, and they can honestly swing the game in our favor if we don't see the fire rockets. Here's the Guilmon, the new one. Gonna be a big help being able to search out our Growlmon and Gallantmon cards very early on. Especially its inherited effect, which gives us extra drop power. Another ground Locomon, Gargamon, Andromon, Labramon, Searcher. D-Reaper is a deck that I'm not too worried about just because we delete based on power. There's that War Growlmon, was really hoping to see that. I'm really glad that we got it. And the Gallantmon. That's huge here. It gives us another thing that we can fetch off of our new Guilmon, and it's another thing that we can Digivolve into with our structure deck Guilmon, which is a very big deal. Devamon, Bubbles, Gatekeeper, that one is a bit worrying. We don't know if we're going to be able to remove that. There's the Gigimon Egg, that's going to be huge. That gives us 5 eggs in our egg zone. And there's our Tocado. So we at the very least do have a tamer. I don't know if we're still going to play any of the plugins at only one tamer, because our deck didn't come with another. Alright, so we got Lopmon. There's a Growlmon. I think that card is amazing. I honestly think that it's going to be a really easy replacement for some of those vanilla level 4s in the deck. Parasite, Kazu, Kalmon. I considered playing a Kalmon only because early draw power and such with just a generic 3 cost that we can play is honestly really, really good. Ground Loco, Gargo. There's another offensive plugin for those extra security checks. Another plugin S. That one I don't like as much. There's a Henry and an Impmon, so unfortunately nothing could play there. I guess we're mostly looking to see another Gallantmon. A Crimson mode would be really nice. There's that second Growlmon, so that's really good. We're stocking up on our good level 4 line. Plugin S, Suchong Wong. That card's actually very nice and very underrated. Blue card, maybe in the future. Ooh. And then we've got our Alt Art Rika Nanaka. This card's really nice in the Sakuyamon decks. I know that deck usually revolves around finding a Rika and being able to use those options as fast as possible. Ground Loco, a lot of these commons we've seen already. There's not a whole lot of commons in the set. There's another plug-in A, so that's 3, I believe. Hopmon, Deathslinger, a very nice card for purple. Cyberdramon. Oh, and there's that Crimson mode. This is honestly one of the better cards we wanted to see, just because we need one early so that we can at least try to get some games just playing it early for 6. The faster we can get to it, the more impactful all those extra security checks are going to be. Some more commons, that's pretty normal. Fireball is a huge pickup here. A 2 cost that lets us draw some cards, and it does have a relevant deletion effect, especially with our new Gallantmon, is going to be really important. So I'm really looking forward to getting to use that coming up here. A third Growlmon. I wish we saw 4, but, hey, you take what you can get. Optimizer, Alice McCoy. I considered playing this only because we do end up with extra bodies on the board sometimes. Ryu and a Reaper. Very unfortunate, no more red cards. I was hoping to see at least another Guilmon. We did get this Alt Art Rika, which is very, very nice. And the Crimson mode, obviously, is a huge pickup for this deck, seeing it early. So, on to the full deck profile. This is with both structure decks put together and the packs of Digital Hazard. Hopefully all the upgrades are going to make this very playable at the events that we play, but I'll run you guys through real quick. So we got the 4 structure Gigimon and the new Gigimon. The new Gigimon is amazing. It's a really good draw engine. It's our best egg that we could possibly see. And then there's the structure deck Gigimon. It's a simple DP booster. Nothing too crazy, but it is going to be nice in those matchups where we're running against something like Mastamon, where their security can be kind of big. And main deck, it's 50 cards as every Digimon deck is, and I had to do some weird balance changes, but we'll do what we can. So here's the Guilmon we pulled from EX2. It's a very nice on-play with being able to search our Gallantmon and our Growlmons, and the inherited effect to do some DP gain. We have the 4 structure deck Guilmons. These ones are okay. I think these are going to carry the deck a little bit, because playing it for 3 and then just digivolving straight into a Gallantmon for a cost of 3 can be very volatile in certain matchups. Next we've got the structure deck Agumons. We've got 4 of these. The DP gain is actually very nice. Just gaining it with no condition, only that you're attacking, not once per turn, is pretty good. If we find a way to restand our Gallantmon, we can abuse it. We are playing 4 of the Blocker Beamon. It digivolves for 0, which is really nice as a 3 with Blocker. It can't attack, but having the defensive option is always very nice for a deck that usually wants to be more aggressive, but having the option there is always something that we can't afford to take for granted. For Geogreymon, this is one that I went back and forth on for the ratios. I wanted to play 3, but I felt like 4, specifically for the fact that it is an on-play deleter, so it's not too terrible to see in your hand, is alright. We have 3 of the Growlmons. We only pulled the 3, and I think this card is really nice. I'm really hoping that I'm able to get that when attacking skill off, and I'm really hoping that it comes up as much as possible. The inherited effect I actually really like a lot. It's an inherited version of its own on-attack skill, which will definitely help the Gallantmon to delete as many of those like Rookie Rush strategies as possible. We are running 2 of the Structure Deck Growlmon. This is the one that I was considering throwing a 3rd in for instead of the Geogray for that inherited gain of memory. I just wasn't sure if we're absolutely going to need it, just because we are playing a kind of low-to-the-ground memory cost on most of our stuff anyway. We have the 1 of War Growlmon. We only pulled the 1, so we can only play the 1, but it is probably the best 5 that we have with the additional gain on our DP deletions, so we can get our Gallantmon and Growlmon deletions to 4000s and so on. We are playing 4 of the Structure Deck Growlmon. The when attacking is very relevant. It can kill a lot of those early 3s, which triggers a lot of our abilities and inherited abilities. And then it giving our Gallantmon an extra security attack on deletion is going to be very volatile for taking out security stacks quick. We have the level 5 Groundramon. It's a complete vanilla with 6k and 2 cost. I think this card is very amazing. It's very low to the ground for a 5, so if we're really running out of resources, we can just play it for 5 and then put a Gallantmon on it. Our 1 of Digital Hazard Gallantmon. I think this guy is going to be the MVP of the deck. He's very strong. He can do so many different things with deletion and being able to remove those early game boards. The Structure Deck Gallantmon, obviously we're going to max out on this bad boy. He's only 11k, which is scary, but he does have that extra security attack, and the when attacking, if we ever fail to delete something, we can give him an extra 3k to make him 14, which does beat over most of the 6s in the meta right now. And obviously we have the 1 of Crimson mode. There's not a lot that can be said here. Comboing this with a Tocado is very strong. Paying 6, sure, they get a lot of memory, but if you have the right things, like the early Growlmon, like we said, you can actually gain a memory back and gain a memory with the Tocado, which is basically making this only cost 4, and we get a free swing out of it. Next, we're going to move on to the option cards. We have the 1 of Fireball. Not a lot to be said about this. This card is amazing. Drawing any additional cards in red is very scary for most other people. We have the 4 Lightning Jousts. This card is simply just, most of the time, going to be 1 memory for an extra crit, which is an amazing rate for most decks, so it's perfect for us. The 2 red memory boosts, nothing to be said here really. This is just for more consistency because we only have the 1 Growlmon. We do need to be able to dig deep, and it does give us memory. We have the 3 Atomic Blaster. The only I wanted to play 4 of this, but you'll see later why I didn't. 3 Atomic Blaster feels fine. The fact that it can delete 8,000 and then get boosted or give us bonus effects to most of our Gallantmons through the inherited effects for only 5 is a really nice cost that I'm willing to pay. And then we do have the 2 Gaia Force. I went back and forth on this because 2 8 cost options just to delete something is very expensive, but it does theoretically become a 6 cost under Tocado and the inherited Guilmon. So I'm willing to make the sacrifice, especially for dealing with stuff like X-Antibody. And then the last card in our profile, we do have the one Tocado. I wish I pulled one more and I would have replaced the Gaia Force, but you can only do so much with what you have, so here I am playing the one of. So we've got about 20 minutes until start of round 1. I've got the full deck right here with me, and I'm just hoping it goes well. First day, so here's hoping. So we lost game 1, 0-2. We lost to Blue Hybrid. Pretty rough deck for a Gallantmon matchup, especially since our sources are pretty important. But game 1 was actually pretty close. I got 4 security checks on a big Gallantmon. The deck feels pretty good so far. I'm really hoping to see that Tocado in most of my matches because the Tocado is pretty good for consistency. But we do what we can with what we have. We took that round 2-0, played Imperial Jambon. The little Growlmon and all the small deletion effects actually come up a lot against small matchups. I think it'll be really good against Armor Rush, and I think it'll be able to deal with stuff like D-Reaper really well. So now we're going into game 3. Alright boys, we went 2-0 last game. He opened pretty rough. It was Commandramon Black. He was having a rough time. He was open too many 6s and just couldn't do anything. But we went 2-1 in the tournament today. Didn't get anything crazy. We got a promo pack with a green card in it. Whatever.
That's a positive. Let's get it.
How's it going, guys? Today we're at Casual Heroes Cards and Games. We're playing another Digimon tournament. This is the more competitive crowd, so this is the one I'm actually pretty worried about. I'm not sure if I'm going to do super well. It's 3 rounds today. Like I said, I'm not looking for anything crazy. I'm just looking to perform decently and see what my deck can do against some of the more meta decks in the format. I will keep you guys updated. So we are currently 0-2. We lost pretty handily. Both of them were yellow hybrid decks, or versions of it. And the deck has a really hard time keeping up with getting the Gallantmon removed, which really sucks, because I got removed both games, and there was just nothing I could really do about it. I had to try to come back, but most of the time I was just too far behind to really do anything.
won round 3. We did pretty good. It was a purple Titamon build. Titamon is actually a very scary Digimon that I didn't think I was ever going to see, but I'm actually glad I did face it because it showed me like some of the weaknesses of my deck. Especially the parts where I wasn't able to deal with the Titamon itself. I just had to kind of do what I could at the time with what I had. I also realized we ran into a situation where we had a lot of vanillas just now against that matchup in particular, and it was very scary. I wasn't really able to do my Gallimon stuff. I never saw it, so I'm just glad that Titamon doesn't inherently deal with Digimon themselves, or I wasn't gonna be able to use those vanillas to beat them down.
Alright, everybody, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for week 1 of Sealed Only. I feel pretty confident going into week 2 that hopefully the product we open next week is going to get us the rest that we need to see better results with this deck. I'm very excited to see what we get, and I'm very happy with this week's performance. So going forward, I'm really hoping that we can open everything we need and really start to see results out of a deck that I didn't honestly expect to see a lot out of. If you do enjoy this type of content, go ahead and like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. I am just starting out my YouTube career, so it really helps to share this with as many of your friends and family as possible, and I greatly appreciate everybody who's here watching this video today. That being said, I'm the One Rad Kid Gaming, and I hope to see you next week.